Hi everybody, we're Get Indie Gaming and welcome to our top 5 countdown for indie game hidden gems for July, where we continue our series looking over indie games across all the platforms that might have missed you or passed you by when they first dropped. Coming up today, we've a canny space pirate, a puzzle adventure game and a fast-paced real-time strategy title with procedural elements. So if we're ready, let's crack on with that rundown. At number 5, and first out towards the end of last year on PC with recent ports onto consoles, Bomber Crew, while all cute and fluffy to look at, offers a tough-as-nails strategy World War II real-time action simulation game with a fine nod towards historical accuracy. Here you're tasked with commanding your craft as you go about various missions. Unlike other ship sims, in Bomber Crew you're not able to pause the action whilst your orders are being given on the fly while simultaneously running the various sections of the plane, such as the navigation, the machine gunners and the bombardier. Those unable to multitask, well, this one's probably not for you. We found ourselves having to put out onboard fires while trying to down incoming enemy fighters, while also patching injured crewmates and getting ready the plane to drop its payload. At times it all gets somewhat frantic. With many different missions to undertake, including dam buster type operations, there's plenty smaller things to keep you occupied too, such as going on reconnaissance missions or taking down V1 and V2 rockets. Success brings rewards via a well-placed reward upgrade cycle where you can improve your crew, add better weapons, armor and engines, and also have the ability to call in a Spitfire fighter escort. At times Bomber Crew can feel brutally hard, although with a certain amount of perseverance and at times a dose of good fortune, it's possible to easily pour hours into what's ultimately a compelling experience. Up now, and our number 4, Pinstripe, came out on the PC in April 2017 and onto the PlayStation 4 and Xbox in February of this year, with all of this having come from a single developer over a 5-year period. You play as Teddy as you make your way through hell in an emotionally charged adventure searching for your 3-year-old daughter and her kidnapper, the eponymous Pinstripe. We've played this on both PC and PlayStation 4, with each offering a solid experience. While an undeniably macabre premise, we're very much taken by the design and art style. The comparisons to the work of Tim Burton, while obvious, are certainly relevant. On the gaming side of things, the puzzle platforming elements are certainly not overly taxing. Each of the solutions tend to present themselves as the narrative plays out. While relatively short, where Pinstripe can be seen off within an evening's play, it's an overall compelling offering that perfectly suits being finished off in a single setting. In number 3, we have a game we wanted to play at launch, although seemingly forgot to do so. Flinthook is a rather fine example of a fast and action-driven platformer with roguelike elements that hit the PC in April of last year, and while its premise has been done and done and done over the years, with its randomly generated levels and pixel art, Tribute Games have delivered something here that's fresh and adds value to this overly saturated genre. From a structural point of view, Flinthook nails the progression system that uses a series of unlocks and character upgrades that reveal themselves as you progress, where such increases are tied to a card deck, where in each mission you choose your loadout, with some cards being more expensive than others. This forces you to make tough choices in how best to tackle any given game situation. As you make your way towards the inevitable boss fights, you need to finish a number of missions until you're able to tackle the big fella before moving on. Aside from the gameplay with its crisp and responsive controls, another gem here comes from the soundtrack, with it fittingly perfect with the overall game style, and no doubt, as others have said, perfectly reminds us of the music from within Crypt of the Necrodancer. Flinthook does what it does very well. Fans of these type of games will perhaps already have finished this one off long ago, although if like us you missed it when it first came out, there's a good 20 hours plus to go through, and perhaps more if you choose to dive deeply into the collectibles and pages of lore. At number 2, and only out a day or so ago as this video comes to air on the Switch and PC to follow, Bomb Chicken from Nitrome, a team with a huge pedigree on the mobile side of gaming, is a classic looking pixel art styled indie puzzle platformer that's been expertly crafted and offers plenty of challenge to go with it. You play as expected as a chicken with the crafty ability to lay an unlimited amount of ordnance as you go about your business of seeking revenge and payback against human folk all too happy to cook, roast and fry your fellow fowl. Most of the gameplay elements are tied to this twist on the egg-laying theme, where it's used to gain elevation, or by kicking these bombs across the level, you're able to take down enemies at a distance. You can also use them to shape your environment, for example by making bits of the world explode. While each of the 29 levels uses a checkpoint system, like many others of this type, its difficulty level is on the high side. That being said, there's plenty to keep you playing with a clever level design, enjoyable boss fights, and on the Switch, it plays as well in mobile mode as it does when in the docking station. While we've yet to finish this off, so far it's very, very good. At number 1, and for us, a textbook example of a hidden indie game gem, we have Treadnoughts from Top Stitch Games that came out in early access back in February of this year. This one's a fun offering and it gives us a casual tank-based combat couch competitive multiplayer up to 4 players where you take control and pilot your tank through 4 gorgeous looking arenas to ultimately take down your opponents in short and frantic rounds that sees your screens brimming with explosions and chaos. While it doesn't offer too much in the way of new gameplay mechanics or ideas, Treadnoughts even in its early access state is a joy to play and highly pleasing to look at. Alongside its couch co-op options, there's a beta online multiplayer together with a single player practice mode as well. With friends and family all gathered together, it's all straight up wall to wall excitement in a bottle. The controls are buttery smooth while played with or without the controller. The music and sound effects are also top drawer and pretty much perfectly augment its look and feel. With plans to launch later in the year, the team have previously stated the time in early access will help refine its overall package, tidying up bugs and getting ports ready for consoles, and also acting upon the general feedback of the playing community. Based on how active the team have been since its soft launch, we're expecting much more from this when it comes out, hopefully before the end of the year. And while we don't label games here with a particular score per se, we're certainly happy to give Treadnoughts the Get Indie Gaming seal of approval, and if you haven't played this one yet, go do so as soon as possible. With Treadnoughts firmly at the top of the tree for July, it's time to wrap up things for today's episode. If you've liked the video, please click that like button, and if you're not a subscriber, now would be a good time as any to join our growing indie game community. Many thanks for watching, we look forward to welcoming you here back soon for more indie game goodness.